The sun rose over Mount Kilimanjaro, its snow-capped peak glinting like a giant scoop of vanilla ice cream above the lush green plains. Zawadi, a Tanzanian eco-engineer, stood at the mountain's base, watching wisps of mist swirl like playful ghosts through the forest. At her side was Asha, her younger sister, who always had a cheeky comeback ready. "This mountain is more than just a landmark," Zawadi said, brushing her hand through the cool air. "It's a lifeline for Tanzania and beyond. If we lose the glaciers, we lose everything they sustain." "Also, it's the only thing that makes hiking worth it," Asha quipped. "Who climbs a mountain for no snow selfie?" "Oh, very deep, Asha," Zawadi sighed, rolling her eyes. Zawadi led a team of eco-engineers working to slow Kilimanjaro's glacial melting. Their flagship project, named Ice Shield, combined ancient water conservation techniques with an ultra-cool tech system, flow screens, a water-based projection technology that used mist and flowing currents to form vivid, moving images of climate data. With them was Juma, a coder so tech-savvy he once reprogrammed their office coffee maker to deliver motivational quotes along with cappuccinos. "Let's do this, team," Juma said, adjusting his glasses, "because saving glaciers is—" He paused for dramatic effect. "Cool, literally." The project drew international collaborators. From Antarctica came Dr. Callahan, a glaciologist who claimed she once befriended a penguin. Representing Canada was Dr. Miller, a climate scientist who always carried maple syrup just in case. "You've done extraordinary work here, Zawadi," Dr. Callahan said, marveling at the intricate water channels designed to redirect meltwater back to the mountain. "It's the wisdom of our ancestors," Zawadi replied. "They understood how to work with nature, not against it. We're just adding technology to amplify their genius." Juma unveiled their latest tool, a flow screen assistant named Glacier. "Meet Glacier," he announced with a flourish. From a fine mist rose Glacier's shimmering form, her flowing movements mirroring the currents of water that powered her. "Welcome, guardians of the glaciers. Let's keep it cool." Dr. Miller smirked. "Did you program her to sound like a YouTuber?" Juma shrugged. "Better than sounding like my grumpy toaster." One morning, Glacier's usually cheerful voice turned serious. "Attention team, temperature spikes detected at Kilimanjaro's summit." Zawadi's heart sank as the flow screen projected a time-lapse of the glaciers melting at an alarming rate. "It's worse than we thought," Asha whispered. "We need to act fast." The culprit? Illegal deforestation disrupting rainfall patterns. Trees were vanishing faster than Asha could finish her morning tea. "This isn't just about the mountain," Zawadi said during an emergency meeting. "This is about protecting the entire ecosystem." Dr. Miller suggested renewable energy solutions to support reforestation efforts, while Dr. Callahan shared ideas inspired by polar ice preservation. Meanwhile, Juma equipped solar-powered drones with flow screens to patrol deforested areas and deliver seeds. "Think of them as flying Johnny Appleseeds," he said. Asha laughed. "More like Buzz Lightyear's gardening cousins." Despite the team's efforts, some locals were wary. During a community meeting, an elder spoke up. "This is our mountain. We've lived here for generations without all this technology." Zawadi nodded. "And it's your knowledge that guides us. We're not here to change the mountain. We're here to preserve it for your children and their children." Asha chimed in, sharing stories about how their ancestors used natural techniques to manage water and forests. Slowly, the community warmed up to the idea. Elders taught the team traditional methods, while children gleefully chased drones, dropping seeds. One boy giggled as a seed hit his nose. Does this mean I'll grow into a tree? Juma grinned. Only if you stand really still. That night, a storm swept across Kilimanjaro. Glaciers sounded the alarm. Landslide detected. Deploy emergency measures. Zawadi and her team sprang into action. Using flow screens, they identified vulnerable areas and directed barriers to stabilize the soil. Juma controlled the drones, which delivered supplies with laser precision, except for one drone that accidentally dropped a sandbag onto Asha's foot. Ow! Isha yelped. Your drones need manners. They're in training, Juma quipped. Meanwhile, Asha rallied volunteers to plant additional trees. This is our home, she said, and we're going to protect it, one tree at a time. When the storm passed, the team assessed the damage. Remarkably, much of their work had survived. We did it, Juma said, his voice full of relief. And by we, I mean mostly me and my drones. Asha swatted him playfully. Don't let it go to your head, tech boy. Dr. Callahan and Dr. Miller praised their resilience. Your ability to adapt is inspiring, Dr. Miller said. Zawadi smiled. It's the strength of our community and the wisdom of our ancestors that carried us through. Glacier chimed in. And me, don't forget me. I'm the real MVP. The project's success spread across Tanzania. Schools adopted Ice Shield as a case study, and students created flow screen-powered science projects inspired by the team. Zawadi became a global ambassador for climate action. Kilimanjaro isn't just a mountain, she said during a conference. It's a symbol of what we can achieve when we honor the past and embrace the future. Years later, Kilimanjaro's glaciers remained intact. The Ice Shield team expanded their work to protect other ecosystems in Tanzania, from coastal mangroves to savannas. Standing at the summit, Zawadi gazed at the horizon. This is just the beginning, she said. Together, we can protect our planet. Glacier's voice echoed warmly. The glaciers stand tall, just like their guardians.